In the age of Obama, the first thing we have to acknowledge is that the guy has one of the best names in politics to get around your mouth since Boutros Ghali. Barack Obama has a euphonious, catchy sound and a snappy rhythm to it. Barack Obama. I don't mean to get all Maya Angelou on you, but please, Barack Obama. Barack Obama! I could say it all day. It explodes with a B, contracts into the neat click of a K, spreads out into an O, and ends with ah. Barack Obama. The last name serves as a ready-made African-sounding chant, the kind of thing you might notice Fela Kuti's wives shouting in the background of a 29-minute tirade against the Nigerian government, or that you might hear tons of Kenyan children shouting across the globe on election night. Barack Obama. The sound of this name is perhaps not as trivial as it seems. This name is like a gift to anyone who cares about the sound and rhythm of words, and we do get to say it a lot. While Barack means blessed, it also has other connotations because of the English words it resembles. For one, it sounds like Barack. It sounds like the rock. And so everything that the word rock conjures in our culture sticks to it. Strength and consistency, certainly, but also rebellion, movement, and music. I want to Barack with you. Barack your baby. Barack steady. I love Barack and roll. Barack me Amadeus. There's a YouTube video I really want to see. But let's move on to that last name, Obama. If dwelling on the sound of a name seems a little frivolous, let's not forget that there were many who initially deemed Obama unelectable because the sound of that last name bears a strong resemblance to the first name of a certain Muslim fellow whose family is very good friends with George Bush's. You might have been one of the people who thought that he was unelectable because of that name. And let's pause to recall the inevitable tongue slippages and typos, most notably on a ballot in upstate New York. In January of 2008, Rick Murphy of the East Hampton newspaper The Independent attempted to satirize the future president with the funny name by adopting the byline, Yo Mama bin Barack, and attaching it to a crude parody of Ebonics. The one thing we can grant Murphy is that Obama does rhyme with Yo Mama. The joke, however, is on him. Because most people, if they thought there would ever be a black president, probably thought his name would be some Englishy, slavey name, like, just off the top of my head, Thomas Jefferson. Barack Obama is the blackest sounding name in Washington. If there were no such person as Oba Babatunde, it might be the blackest sounding name in the world. There's nothing you can do to make fun of how black that man's name sounds. You might call him Barack Your Mama, but even a goofy renaming like that evokes, at least for me, catharsis and vindication, a kind of, well, not revenge exactly, but definitely defiance. Say it with some neck. Barack Your Mama. To paraphrase some white dude, though, what's in the name? Barack Obama by any other name would smell as sweet, although I haven't been close enough to really know. But the fact that he has a Mizaki Shange choreo poem for a name is a bow wrapped around the first openly black presidency. Okay. Though we know what his name means for people who love words, will having a successful author of color as our commander-in-chief mean anything for us less successful authors of color? And by successful, I mean wealthy, which is what all good Americans mean when they say successful. There have been vague suggestions that the Obama administration will allocate more funding to the arts, but the government's cupboards are so bare at this point that it might not make much of a difference except at the organizational level. And then the most consideration will probably go to organizations whose missions most resemble social work or green energy projects, not to support individual artists. Call me cynical, but I don't think that having Obama in the White House will make things as great for authors of color as having Oprah in the White House would. What his presidency has changed for all of us, though, is the mood of the national conversation. The atmosphere of openness and left-leaning power is exciting, yes, but we can't just breathe a sigh of relief and go about our business as usual. Obama is a moderate, ultimately, but he represents an opportunity to move the country left and stop the drift toward of the same conversation toward conservatism that's been going on. I mean, even more conservatism, actually, of the last 40-odd years. It feels as if the time to be heard has suddenly arrived, but we can't squander it just because Obama mania has swept us away. The guy is not the best on gay rights. He hasn't dismantled some of the Bush administration's surveillance initiatives. Liberals are going to need to hold his feet to the fire if we want him to live up to our Russian constructivist FDR reincarnated as a Negro image of him. And what's more, Obama alone does not define the current spirit of the age. The collapse of the economy represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reshape American capitalism. I'm secretly thrilled by the recession. Well, not secretly anymore, I guess. It's terrible for people to lose their jobs, right? But jobs are not lives. People will adapt to the new paradigm. Rents are going down. Things are becoming affordable again in New York City. The city was largely spared the downward spiral of the housing debacle because of our nitpicky co-op boards. Imagine that. Auto manufacturers are going broke and throwing themselves at the mercy of the government. The opportunity for environmental reform inherent in that situation is mind-boggling. The recession might also work to the benefit of the artistic community. Artists seem largely unaffected by this change in the financial climate. Most of us have never had tons of money, so it hardly seems that much different right now. What's bad for business, as we know, can be good for culture. All these unemployed people will have to do something with that newfound leisure time, right? Maybe they'll become artists themselves. Maybe they'll use the time to educate themselves about art. Maybe they'll go out to a nightclub. Maybe they'll get some reading done, finally. The last time New York City was bankrupt and dangerous, we got a cultural juggernaut that included hip-hop, Madonna, and Jean Basquiat, just to name a few. So if we can bear yet another Kennedy/Camelot illusion, I believe that as black writers, we should ask not what Barack Obama can do for us, but what we can do to take advantage of the mood that Barack Obama has created.